enough that it will inspire some to do it. So that's the idea, and I was going to ask if anyone has done that yet.
This is like one of those moments where this is
Can't hear you very well.
Okay, so I'll share the link to it again. And yeah, it's really easy. All you have to do is just copy paste the text in it, and send it to the email of a library, any library, and that's it. That's all that's required, really.
Cool.
So I've sent the call to do that in Spanish as well to all the contacts that I have in Spanish, and locally, it's starting to the library has started to lend out different devices, and I'm working with them. I'm in contact with them regularly, help them keep expanding that, and because it really helps if someone is what is it called? Here we call it dynamizing something. Is someone who's actively getting people motivated and involved, and so that's what I'm doing at the library. Because I'm writing little messages that I send out through different groups on phone chat groups of the city, and that spreads around to raise awareness about it, and reminds people, because people, when an idea is new, when a behavior is new, especially, people need reminders. Well, even if it's not new, I mean, how many times are we told to drink Coca-Cola, right? So it's important to keep reminding people, and that helps things work. So I'm doing that locally. I'm about to share it, and then does anybody have any questions?
I guess I'd say that locally here in the Philippines, there's very few libraries, unlike where I used to live in Adelaide, Australia, where I could have easily done it in Adelaide, but it's just not the right cultural environment here. So I can understand how some people might have issues depending on where they are. I'm also not so much of a champion. You said dynamism, but most people say like a champion of an idea. I'm more of the tech lead in the back who will try and innovate tools to help people, but not likely to be the one that uses it all the time. That makes sense. Or you're doing a really good job championing, so I'm glad that there's people like you, and I hope we can find more people like you, Mark.
Michael. You can always find emails of libraries in Australia and send it to them, even though you're not there, because the email is like it's enough to help someone get started, or to at least introduce the idea to them, and you can just send it and just and let that happen. See what happens. If it if it doesn't, if you don't even get a reply, well, at least you tried, and who knows, maybe they will start, because it's really an idea that they get pretty easily. So there's quite a lot of it is quite possible that libraries start to do this just with that email.
We have a lot of hacker spaces, which is effectively the same thing. And I've got connections with the hacker spaces in Adelaide, but it's a good idea. You can spread the I guess the sort of tool library idea further, and other sharing and other things like that. I admit I'm a bit behind in all of that. I still haven't even shared anything through Sharebase. So I've just been trying to totally move into a new house and deal with all the general living life parts of things, especially having a family. So I'll add it to my list, and it's a good idea that I can contact a library, even though I'm not there. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, I just shared the link. I will add it also to the meeting notes, so everyone knows you can find it afterwards. You know where to find it. Meeting notes are collected in a notepad that has all the meeting notes. It's the motherboard, and that can be found in the instructions, the TZM communication pad, and so that link can lead you to this link. You just have to follow it. So that's basically all I wanted to discuss today. Are there any other questions, though?
Quite clear.
Jacob, did you want to talk about what you've been doing?
Sorry, my daughter has entered the room. I'm not alone here. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the co-op that's forming here in Poland. I've shared the notes. It's extensively described there. And just wanted to let you know that we are starting like this year, just like the Zeitgeist movement Finland. I let know the rest of the Polish movement. I don't know if they are interested. In case there's someone from the Zeitgeist movement Poland here, hi, you can join if you want. From other countries around, you're invited. Everything is there, so please read it. I contacted Koto, so the Zeitgeist movement Finland, basically, and there was some info sharing, although there are some legal issues, so I don't know how it's gonna be. Regardless, we are doing it this year, and probably by the end of the year we are going to have it set up so that anyone can go live with us and do their projects. Anyway, you can read it. I have described it really in detail, so you can participate on the forum. Yeah, that's it actually. Any questions?
Do you have a link?
Yeah, he posted it. It's in the notes.
All right, good.
That's great news. Wonderful.
Yeah, so cześć kolega. I think we wrote it to each other a little bit earlier here on Discord. It's definitely really cool, and you can say both have been active before in TZM Poland. Though I have to say that right now it seems that the branch there has kind of fallen apart a little bit. It seems that some people have left Poland. People have also have gotten very busy or moved on to other things in the country, and it seems like I can't find personally any stable contact in Poland anymore, except for possibly Konrad and his fiancée Janeta. I'm not sure if
Oh,
you've got in touch with them.
I'm not in touch with them. I posted on Facebook, so I believe they could have contacted me, but they haven't. So maybe they don't want to. As for the others, I contacted the former Ziemia 2.0, which was a similar initiative, but actually has fallen. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, as you already know.
Yeah, so I'll probably, because I know Konrad just posted something on Facebook on the
Yeah,
TZM.
if you could please repost it, because I have left Facebook and they might find it like suspicious if like a random account posts it. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I know Konrad personally, and I know he just posted something in the TZM group, Zeitgeist group, like a few days ago. So I know he's actively still at least doing something. So I'll make sure I'll just write to him personally and see what he's up to.
Yeah, I know Konrad personally as well. We've been working together in TZM Warszawa. So yeah, he knows me actually. You can say it's Kuba.
Oh, okay, Cuba. Okay.
He might actually also know my wife, but it doesn't matter actually. So it's Kuba. Yeah.
Okay, Wymiatasz, cool. And then also to know that I'm also a coordinator for Koto. I actively work on the board with them, and yeah, it's just the thing with Koto is that I mean it's it's a legal term and organization, Koto Co-op, and so it's not so open source like a Zeitgeist movement that anybody can just take on the Zeitgeist branding and then just apply it to whatever they're doing or whatnot. So that's why there's stricter routine and legal stuff with it. And but I mean, of course, doing a co-op in Poland is perhaps it'll probably be okay. Like I don't know, doing it under another name, even including under TZM. But even you have to review stuff in TZM's code of conduct or whatnot. So I mean, it's I don't know. I personally don't know how co-op laws are in Poland, but everything gets law stuff is it gets a little bit messy at times. So I hope that you're not doing this alone, basically. And I wish I'd be in Poland myself right now to be of help in this, but currently I'm not there, and there's other things right now. But it seems really cool.
As long as we are only one unit, there's no any problem with laws. But as soon as we want to have more units, it might become an issue. But for now, it's not a problem.
I would love to hear more information about precisely what it is that you've set up. Like, is it like a house that you're opening up to share with, like a co-housing? What exactly have you been able to set up already?
We are, as I said, how much time do we have? Yeah, because it's like a long wall of text that I have already posted, and you can actually read about it. It's extensively described. So
Okay.
yeah, it's
Sure.
you are thinking right. It's like a self-sufficient co-op in the field of new law resource-based economy in the right place to like add new units. It's like the place that we have an edge against capitalism, because capitalists don't want to take it and cannot because of the Polish law. It's not so easy due to the land grab rules of for Polish agriculture. But the co-ops can take it. I have written about it extensively. You should read. It's a good read.
I will. Thank you.
Does my microphone sound better now? Kubler, Mikael.
Yeah, it sounds a bit better to me.
Sehr gut.
Oh, I also well, because there isn't other items on the agenda, oh wait, there's a TZM Ukraine update. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I'll just throw that out really quickly. And yeah, basically it's in somewhat of relation to the Koto co-op thing as well. I mean, we're also starting a similar thing with here in TZM, with here in Iceland with the Zeitgeist movement, with the community center. That's been heavily slowed down because of the pandemic, but now that we've already stopped all restrictions within the country, now we can get back onto making that happen. And the same thing has basically happened in Ukraine. Is that they've had their first meeting in for the whole year in the center of Kiev. Was 2 days ago. So they also started letting people. They started opening things back up again and letting people meet. And then, of course, there is the idea of, like, I guess they also are starting some kind of a not necessarily co-op, nothing so legal yet, but basically kind of like a community center or possibly even a tool library. I know that they're starting basically what the main project that TZM Ukraine is working on is basically like a TZM, I guess you could say like an official like TZM based platform. So this means that building our own like TZM program or app, like a Trello board or whatever. Like this was originally that was being created back a few years ago when we had that TZM app be released in 2017 or whatnot. So they are programming. I mean, perhaps on a more, guess a more advanced level, a little bit more like even professional. And the idea is that it's going to allow people to organize their TZM activism through this app, and people get to see projects and stuff that are happening in the movement, and it's gonna be very fluid and interesting how that functions. So they're working on that right now, as well as just the means of like sorting out information and stuff, and a login system, and it's fascinating. So they've been busy, but they don't really speak English, and they don't really care for the English international meetings. That's why I'm the diplomat, especially since my brother-in-law coordinates the TZM Ukraine most of the time. And basically, the other thing is that we've talked about even having kind of another version of the open access assembly meetings. So a second kind, except it's all in Russian, similar to how Mark also organized a Spanish version. So we're talking about hosting a Russian one here on the Discord server, and that would invite more people from Ukraine and Belarus, Russia, and Kazakhstan and other East Bloc countries to join in to these kinds of meetings. So that'll be spoken about in the future. But in the meantime, yeah, that's basically they're just getting back active, meeting with each other again, which is great. And that's one of the first things they did is basically speaking about like a shared community space or whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool mentioning.
It's good. We want to have activity within the different branches. So that's very good.
Конечно.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great to see so much activity, and I just want to say that it's great to hang out with all you guys. These meetings are of the best hours of the month.
Same here.
I agree.
Woody, did you have something to say?
He's on the
Before you
train right
disappear.
now.
Well, I could add something, which is that well, I've been in Australia now for a while, but now I'm back in Sweden. And Sweden is where I'm active with TZM, and in Stockholm. We're gonna meet up soon, actually. Have a little group meeting talking about what we want to do with our activism, and yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, TZM Sweden's probably my favorite branch, with all honesty, of the Zeitgeist movement. And yeah, you guys kick ass. It was so much fun living and working with you guys in Stockholm and in Västerås and everywhere else in Enköping. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, you know, save the world again, or at least Stockholm.
You're sweet, man. We've enjoyed having you.
You.
That reminds me, maybe I forget his name. That was also from Sweden that came to the event in Buenos Aires. Maybe you could get in touch with him because that'd be great.
What's his name?
Well, he's mentioning Lawrence, and
Lawrence. Yeah.
yeah, Lawrence though is not really active in TZM right now, and he's currently focused on other things, I guess, further with his patenting as well as other personal things he has to attend of, and perhaps some other big decisions that he's up with. So it's not going to be for a while that I could see him coming to join us, unfortunately.
But we did have him
Okay,
for a
okay.
while, so yeah, he has been active before.
Yeah, but
And,
he's consciously stopped. Though that's the problem.
In the European meetup, he was, I mean, a leading role. So he has been active, but just not at the moment. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, so he's had
maybe
a
you
mixed
guys-
up about it.
Sorry. Yeah, maybe if you guys like hold like parties or events, gatherings that are less formal, maybe he would like to join.
That's a good idea, actually, and I mean that's why Emil is mostly in touch with Lawrence. I think they phone and they go and meet up from time to time. So I mean, I think that'd be really good that you guys try and do that and see if you can also get his wife to come as well. And it'd be cool to see all of you together. I just fear that his schedule is really, really conservative at the time, just dealing with his own stuff. But hey, you guys have to go work it out with him.
We'll try and get as many members as possible.
We talked about this too, about getting even Nelly back, trying to reach out to her, which would be really, really important, I think.
Oh, it's great. Woody has something would like to share with us.
Come on up, Tom.
Assuming he's still there. Come on. Hopefully he hasn't disappeared through a tunnel or something. Can you speak now, Woody? We're waiting for you.
Come on, don't be shy. Tell the whole train you're Superman.
You can speak into your phone, can't you?
Yeah, come on, just say it. Just say loudly you're Superman on the phone. Yeah, come on, let's hear it.
If you don't want to, then maybe you can just type it out, or at worst, leave it in the notes.
Man, Mike, we were supposed to pressure him to make him talk.
I was trying. I kept trying to make sure that he had space to talk, and come on. But all right, Woody.
No, it's cool. All right.
No pressure.
So, I was, if you guys are okay, we could move on to the part of asking what we can do to help each other. So, because it's an important part of these assemblies. So what we can do is, if anyone has something simple to ask as a group task, that'd be great. Just to tell us what we can do for you. That doesn't require more than a few minutes of effort. Something that we can all do for sure, and then we can share that in the access in the call to action. So, does anybody have anything to ask to the group?
I'm looking for some people who can review the Abundant Centered Society, the Tower of ACS document that I've got. It's a few pages long, but it's like 20 pages long. But it's something that I see as a core set of principles to live by when people are actually living in an RBE or some sort of other post-scarcity society, or what I call abundant-centered society. So I've just quickly mentioned that the main tenets of abundance. So that's creating abundance through systems design, innovation, automation, cradle to cradle, and shared access. So that's one of the main core principles of TZM and the Venus Project and RBE, that sort of stuff. There's also responsibility. So that is that people have a responsibility to look after the systems that support them and their fellow beings. And that ties in with the sustainability aspects. There's a reducing needless violence, waste, and stratification towards zero. There's the scientific method and the pursuit of abundant knowledge, but the application of it ethically. Just an understanding of dynamic equilibrium where we expect change, but just as our universe and evolution, it's always changing. We should expect that things are changing, but on different time scales in different ways. There's intelligence and being in the intelligence quadrant, which really just comes down to when you're making choices, try and make choices that are both good for you and for others, rather than things that are just good for you, just good for others, or being what's considered the stupid quadrant, where it's bad for you and bad for others. And there's a whole bunch of what I'm terming integral. So that's integral ideas. So the spirodynamics, integral concepts. There's also things around increasing sense making and expanding empathy towards all human beings. So what I want is someone to go through, help me refine the document a bit, but then also analyze those concepts and says, okay, what happens when these things merge together, or what happens if psychopaths are trying to abuse the system, or that large corporations or organizations are somehow trying to manipulate what's going on. So just like analyzing capitalism and how are all the failings of capitalism, what would it be like living in such a society? What are the good and bad things we have to deal with, and how do we put checks and balances in place? And that's what I'm hoping this is meant to be, a set of principles that hopefully help become an anti-fragile or strong self-perpetuating civilization in a just some easy ways to live by. So if someone wants to, spend an hour or two with me analyzing that would be really great. And I'll repost the link into the TZM International Voice chat. It's also in the TZM Next Lab.
So that is what we call a call for help. And yeah, I'll add that. That's wonderful, and I'll add that in the call to action. If where do you want people to contact? Like, do you want people just to ping you with if they're interested in helping you out with that?
Yeah, just ping me. If I don't respond on Discord because I don't open it very often, then Telegram, email, anything like that. Just making a comment on the document itself. Yeah, I'll make sure that
That's really
my details at
yeah.
the
That's
end.
super easy. Making a comment on the document. Can anyone make a comment on that? Because that there's one in the call to action. If we make like a simple way for people to get involved, it's easier for people to do so. So do you want to tell people just like, can anybody make a comment on it?
Yeah, anyone can comment on it, so that's fine. It's shared that way, so you should at
Wonderful.
least be
That's
able to
ideal.
comment. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else want to ask something of the group? I will ask the group to send the email to to find the email of a library that you can either close by or not, and just send the email of the link that I shared above. It'll take you 5 minutes to do that. So it's really great if everyone could do that. That's my call. That's my group action that I'm calling for. So does anybody else have something? Like, does anybody have something that they would like us to share on our social media pages, or to help, or to comment on, or to like, to help them get more likes on something? Okay, so if I guess we can just open the floor and just allow for conversation now.
All right, I will say goodbye and because I have to have some breakfast. So thank you all for this meeting. It was good.
Thank you for the meditation, and yeah, thank you all.
Thank you. All right,
Thank
bye.
you for coming. Enjoy a shared world.
I got to head off. I've got a baby boy to look after, and yeah, our nanny that normally helps out a little bit. She got sick. We thought it might have been COVID, but it turns out could be something potentially worse. She wasn't washing her hands properly after using the toilet, so like that's the person who's meant to be looking after our baby boy. Yeah. So fun times.
Basic hygiene, baby. Gotta learn it.
Yep.
I'll catch up with you later, Mike. I'll write you.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're gonna want to go back to sleep, and then you message me a little bit later. We got to deal with your